an actress who, being cheated on by her ex-boyfriend, discovers a real monster in her closet and decides she needs his company to get over her ex. Laura is wheeled out of the hospital in a wheelchair when her friend Maisie approaches her. After checking on the patient, Maisie begins flirting with the nurse who is assisting her, leaving Laura to reflect on her past with her ex, Jacob. The two lived and worked together, and Laura was the actress who helped work on Jacob's play. However, when Laura receives her cancer diagnosis, Jacob feels the pressure of having to care for her, so he breaks up with her. Maisie eventually helps Laura get home, also retrieving her belongings from Jacob's apartment. This brings the heartbroken woman to tears, so her friend reassures her that she is there for her. At that moment, Maisie heads to an audition, promising her friend that she will be back tomorrow. However, Laura ends up grieving alone for the next few days. One night, she remembers when she and Jacob used to write songs. The man even offers her the lead role in the play he was writing, which would make Laura's dreams come true. This only makes their breakup even more painful. At that moment, Laura notices the lights flashing. She also hears something upstairs, but is too afraid to go up and falls asleep on the couch instead. The next day, she walks with Missy, who mentions that Jacob's play audition has already started, surprising Laura. She wonders if her ex wants her to audition, but Missy thinks she shouldn't since she is still recovering. Later, Laura looks through old photos of herself and Jacob. She then considers texting him about auditioning for the role, but before she can text, Jacob calls, surprising her. In her panic, she drops her phone, causing her to miss the call. Laura then hears knocking from upstairs again. Gathering her courage to check, she follows the sound to her closet. At first, she finds nothing there, but when the lights flash, something comes out from behind the clothes. Laura turns and screams upon seeing a monstrous-looking man. Then she runs but trips. Laura wakes up to see the monster still with her, so the woman continues to scream in fear. The monster just waits for her to stop before asking her if she doesn't remember him. She shakes her head, and he remembers that during a storm in 1994, she saw him under her bed. Then in 2001, they bumped into each other while trying to open her locker. Laura still doesn't remember, so he reminds her of when a bully led her to her locker, just to make fun of her. Seeing this, the monster takes revenge on her. This finally rings an alarm, but Laura remains afraid of the monster, so she asks him what he wants. The monster explains that since Laura moved out and her mother travels all year, he has gotten used to living alone, so he insists that she move somewhere else tomorrow. Laura argues that this is her home. However, the monster insists, and Laura can't help but cry, admitting that he's bothering her. She talks about her stressful situation, and unable to hold back her tears, the monster gives her 2 weeks to move out. However, he insists that she not tell anyone about him or he will kill her. The next morning, Laura wakes up to the monster watching her sleep. He roars at her, causing her to run in fear. The woman tries to go on with her day, but the monster continues to bother her, even taking her food. When she practices playing the piano, he complains and even tears up her notes. At night, while watching a movie during dinner, the monster asks about her takeout, hinting that he wants some. She uses this as an opportunity to tease him before offering him food, but he ends up devouring her entire meal. He then asks her to order more, and Laura agrees. While eating, the two find some strange company. Although they can't agree on what movie to watch, the monster ends up taking the remote, so Laura leaves. Before she can do so, the monster decides to go back to her movie, making her smile. To her great surprise, Laura finds the monster crying at the end of the movie. He denies it and leaves while Laura laughs. The next morning, the monster catches Laura getting ready for the day. He also notices the script she was reading, so she dismisses it as a play written by an acquaintance. However, the beast sees Jacob's name and learns that he is her ex-lover. Laura declares that she was only thinking of attending the audition, but the beast reminds her that she helped the man write the play, so she should take credit for that as well. The woman denies this and refuses to work on the script. She then worries that Jacob might think she is asking for the role as compensation for their breakup. The beast suggests that he can threaten the man into giving her the role, pointing out that she would be great in it anyway. Despite this, Laura points out that she just had surgery and is currently in a bad state. The beast groans and agrees that she shouldn't go. This seemingly prompts Laura to go to the audition, though she declines because she doesn't have a date. However, her escort Scotty realizes that she was the actress who rehearsed the dialogue during development. He also learns that she was dating Jacob. Upon realizing that the writer broke up with her, Scotty decides to sneak her into the audition. At that moment, famous actress Jackie also arrives at the audition. However, Scotty bumps into Laura to let her audition afterwards, surprising Jacob. He awkwardly welcomes her to the audition before she can begin her song. Laura struggles nervously and loses the cast's attention. Eventually, she returns home and laments her failed audition, pouring her heart out to the Beast under her bed. Laura fears that her career is over and decides that she isn't that talented anyway. Suddenly, the Beast claims to be an actor as well and offers to put on a show to cheer her up. The two end up searching through books to find a play the Beast can perform in. Once they find one, the Beast says the lines boisterously, making her laugh. With this, he switches gears and says the romantic lines more seriously, which draws Laura in. Suddenly, Jacob calls Laura, and the woman rushes to the kitchen to answer his call. He reassures her before confirming that she didn't get the part. Instead, Jackie got it while Missy got one of the supporting roles. With this in mind, Jacob questions whether to let Laura become Jackie's replacement, taking the opportunity, which Laura accepts, seemingly surprising Jacob as if he wasn't expecting her to agree. He then awkwardly hangs up on her. The Beast approaches Laura, who is slumped to the floor, startled. Sensing her frustration, the Beast begins to break dishes, urging Laura to do the same. After much hesitation, she follows suit and feels relieved to have let out her anger. The two proceed to cause more chaos in the kitchen, with Laura feeling relieved of her burden. Afterwards, Laura realizes that 2 weeks have already passed, so she should move on. However, the Beast decides to let her stay, having grown fond of her. Eventually, the cast and crew gather for a script reading. During this, Laura formally meets Jackie before Missy arrives. Jacob leads the reading as the writer and director of the show. He explains how he wrote the script as a love letter to women and to show appreciation for their efforts to overcome their challenges. He then introduces Jackie for the lead role of Laurie, earning applause. The reading begins, and during it, Laura can't help but notice Jacob looking at her. After today, Jacob announces a Halloween party at the theater, to which everyone is invited. Laura then meets up with her ex-boyfriend, only to be interrupted by Jackie when she asks to speak to him while Missy drags her friend away. She leads Laura to the costume room to pick out their Halloween costumes. The woman also urges Laura to bring a date to the party, and with that in mind, she eventually asks the Beast to go with her, stating that he will blend in anyway. The Beast refuses to be around her ex-boyfriend, so he suggests that she stay home with him. However, Laura notes that the entire cast will be there, so it would be weird if she didn't show up. She begs him to go with her, but he refuses to watch her drool over her ex, and then she goes home crying. Feeling humiliated, she decides to go alone. Laura begins to get dressed, though she changes her mind about the boring outfit when she sees an old dress. She soon heads downstairs and surprises the Beast with her beautiful Bride of Frankenstein costume. Laura reiterates her invitation, but he politely declines, so she leaves alone. At the party, Jacob is stunned to see Laura's beautiful outfit, though they are interrupted when Jackie joins the conversation. As she brings them drinks, Jacob mentions that he went out with Jackie earlier. This ruins Laura's mood, so she spends the night wallowing in her sorrows as she watches Jacob flirt with the lead actress. At that moment, the Beast arrives, surprising Laura. Seeing her terrible mood, the Beast invites her to dance, and as they do, Laura forgets her troubles. The song also leads to the two realizing their feelings for each other, so after dancing, the Beast invites her to go somewhere else. However, Laura sees Jacob heading outside with Jackie. She apologizes and decides to follow the two instead. Unsurprisingly, she catches them backstage together. The Beast sees this as well, and knowing that this hurts Laura, decides to intervene. Moments later, Jacob hears something behind him, which stops their meeting. As he looks around, he ends up falling into the stage trapdoor, breaking his hand. Laura and the Beast then head outside, though the woman feels guilty about what happened. The Beast reminds her that the man hurt her, but Laura insists that she is fine, even justifying Jacob's actions. The Beast disagrees because Jacob abandoned her while she was preparing for surgery. He also points out that Jacob promised her the lead role, only to take it away when she became a little too difficult to care for. The Beast insists that she supported him, only for Jacob to take away everything she worked so hard to avoid her. Laura insists that she is fine, but her friend confirms that what her ex did was not so. Finally, upon hearing this confirmation, Laura cries and criticizes what Jacob did. She then kisses the Beast, leading to a passionate night together. The new phase in their relationship inspires them both, and the Beast even happily plays the piano. Laura joins in, singing the song as he plays. Over the next few days, Laura and the Beast spend more time together. However, when she is at work, the woman is still hurt by seeing her ex with his businesswoman. One night, Laura mentions to the Beast that she is going to have her blood work done tomorrow, hoping for good results. He then offers to make her dinner to celebrate, confident that her results will be good. The next day, after going to the clinic, Laura attends training. Jackie tries to help Laura get into position, but she is thrown out. Surprised, Jackie asks another actress why Laura seems so angry, so the woman reveals that she and Jacob just broke up. In fact, Jacob wrote the main character Lori for Laura. This surprises Jackie, leaving her distracted during rehearsal. Disappointed, Jacob berates the actress. Upon seeing this, Laura gets angry and asks Jacob to leave Jackie alone. Jacob asks her to back off because this isn't about her, but Laura reminds him that it was in the past. This gets everyone's attention, so Jacob assures her that she shouldn't bring up the past now. Laura, tired of waiting to discuss their breakup, demands to do it now in front of everyone. She then rambles on about how he spent the last few years relying on her to pick up after him so he can focus on his writing. She yells at him for being useless at everything but writing before leaving the stage. Later, Missy negatively compliments Laura for finally confronting her ex. She then invites her out, and when Laura declines, she just walks away. Seeing this, Laura criticizes Missy for not being a good friend and always doing the bare minimum. Missy points out that Laura doesn't have any other friends or family around, so she shouldn't overstep her boundaries. When Missy leaves, Jacob invites Laura into his office to talk. He berates her for blowing up during the play when she was the one who chose to audition. Laura points out that they worked on this play together, but he defends their breakup, so it's awkward for him to be around her now. Laura confirms that he gave someone else the role she helped create. She reminds him that she worked hard for his play as well, but Jacob excuses that she was his friend, so that was expected of her. Upset, Laura asks why he wrote the character based on her, accusing him of creating the play for any actress who would sleep with him. She reveals that she saw him with Jackie during a Halloween party, admitting that seeing them together hurts her because she still loves him. Despite admitting this, Laura also asserts that she hates how she feels, so she asks him how he could stop loving her. Instead of answering, Jacob kisses Laura and proceeds to make out with her. However, after the act, he reveals that the team decided to fire Laura because she is a liability. He then leaves without another word. When Laura returns home, she finds dinner prepared by the Beast. Realizing that she kept him waiting, she searches her closet for it. After she gets rid of her clothes, she discovers that he has a hidden room where he has been living. Feeling guilty, Laura recounts that she was thrown out of the theater after yelling at Jacob. She also admits that Jacob invited her to talk afterward. The Beast figures that something happened between them. This angers him, so he reminds her that Jacob never loved her. A hurt Laura screams that he doesn't know love because he is a monster hidden from the world. The Beast argues that she was the one who hit him in the first place. Laura denies this, screaming that she doesn't want him because he is a monster. The Beast defends this by saying that if he wasn't around, she would still be a hot mess and would let everyone bring her down. The enraged woman then storms off and slams the closet doors behind her. The Beast knocks on the door, telling her not to do this again. This causes Laura to remember how she locked him out years ago. The Beast quickly accepts her choice and leaves. When Laura opens the closet again, he and his room are gone. Laura can only cry, begging him to come back. Days later, Laura's doctor tells her that she is cancer-free. However, this does not improve her mood. When she returns home, she is surprised to find Jackie calling her out. The other actress thanks her for standing up for her, then apologizes for stealing the role from her. Laura ignores this, accepting that people are getting together a lot. This confuses Jackie, so Laura reveals that she saw her and Jacob at a Halloween party. However, Jackie reveals that she was not with Jacob that night, having rejected his advances because she did not think they were appropriate. Jackie then sympathizes with the way Laura was treated and wonders if there is something they can do to get revenge. On the opening night of the play, Laura sneaks backstage with the help of some of the crew. On her way, she finds Missy with Jacob and reveals that she was with her ex-boyfriend on Halloween night. This upsets Laura again when she enters Jackie's makeup room. Missy follows her and tries to explain that she was trying to tell Laura about Jacob, but was unable to say anything when she got sick. This causes Laura to realize that the two were dating before Jacob broke up with her, turning her sadness into actual anger. Soon the play begins, and with Jacob in the audience, he is surprised to find Laura replacing Jackie. The show continues with Laura portraying her assigned role, much to the audience's admiration. However, during intermission, Jacob becomes angry as he heads backstage, not noticing the flashing lights. Meanwhile, Laura feels her anger rising, so she grabs a publicity ruler just before Jacob appears and orders everyone to leave. While they are alone, Laura confronts him about cheating on her, but he ignores this, berating her for ruining his show. He asserts that prominent critics are in the audience, so she can ruin his career. Laura rolls her eyes, and he then accuses her of being jealous of his talent. With a smile, Laura warns him not to insult her, so Jacob challenges her to do something about it. With that, she threatens his life. Suddenly, the spotlight shines on Laura as she faces the audience. Despite being covered in blood, she continues her solo. As she does so, she remembers the monster that appeared earlier to confront Jacob. With one strike, Jacob is killed and Laura runs into his arms, happy to be reunited with him. The curtains open as they kiss, but it only reveals Laura on stage from earlier. In the present, Laura gives her magnificent performance as Jacob bleeds out on stage. Finally, her song ends and the stage lights up, allowing the audience to notice her bloodied appearance in Jacob's body. While some are still puzzled, Laura drops the broken ruler from her hand, having unleashed the beast inside her to take control of her story. Thanks for watching.